This is Brighty. I'm Campino. We play with the Toten Hosen, and that's the reason why we're here for.
Okay. All right. So, presuming people who get to see this know absolutely nothing about punk or what's going on this weekend, how would you explain it to them?
Well, it's actually it's a good laugh. It's loads of bands turning up here. We haven't played for years and years and years. It's all a bit sentimental about 1977 and all that, but actually it's a great laugh, good time. And people who never ever heard anything about punk rock, they're not the right people to be here, because no explaining would do any good to them. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel about the atmosphere here today?
Well, it was good. Like, people seem to be a bit tired now after 3 days heavy music, and you can feel that. But all in all, it's great. You know, it's like a family meeting.
So, you as a band, can you tell me a little bit about when you first started and how the band got together?
Well, the original roots are based in 1978, end of 78. We formed a band called ZK. We've been going for 3 years, then we changed our name, and new members came in, and we got the Toten Hosen, and we're going now since over 15 years. I don't count it. It's a long, long time. And it was great when we were unknown, it's great now. What can you do? We weren't asked, we just did it.
Okay. So I believe you're very successful in Germany.
Well, I don't know. I mean, whatever that means. You know. We sell a few records, we can live a bit easily. But we didn't start out for that reason. You know. We started out to have fun. We were fans of the 1977 movement. That was the reason why we ever took a guitar in our hands. So we appreciate hanging around with the bands who created the whole thing.
Okay. And we never had to earn money in an honest way. That is very satisfying. Like to be a bank robber or being in a band, it's about the same.
Or a promoter. Alright, so how much influence would you say the UK scene in '76 had on your music?
I beg your pardon?
How much influence would you say?
We didn't listen to anything else. And okay, nowadays, I think the Americans have closed up, you know, they've got a few good bands also, and I think it's ridiculous to stay stuck in the old times. Also, it would be ridiculous to, like, say the past is the past, we don't want to have anything to do with it. You know, have fun, take it every now and then. You know, it's always fun to listen to a Clash album from the early days, and those records were great. They're timeless. You know, you can listen to those albums in the year 2000 also. It's no problem. But don't forget to listen to the new albums also. You know, music is it's not a dead piece of wood. It's living, and there's great bands around. No reason to be sad. You know.
So, can you name any new bands which are good?
Well, I get along fine with. Actually, Patti Smith came back with a great album. I love her album. New band, Grand
Terror Vision, Baby Kills, Compulsion,
The Wild Hearts,
Hybrid Children, Everclear.
Yeah, loads of good bands.
What about the scene in Germany, new band-wise? Is there a lot of punk bands over there?
Well, Germany is kind of the banana republic of rock and roll. They always have been, and they always will be. Every now and then there's something new, something good, like Kraftwerk, or what else? I don't know. Well, you know, Germany is Germany.
Okay.
They got a strong Deutschmark. They got no rock and roll bands.
So,
well, they got the Einsturz and Neubauten, which I like a lot. There's every now and then there's good bands around.
okay. So, how would you say punk rock changed your life personally?
Well, I think it has. I don't know what, you know, where I would be now without it. But I guess it has. But was it to the better? I don't know. Did
about
it
you?
change your life?
I know piss when I
Slightly.
I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have played in the band. Maybe I would have committed suicide. I don't know.
pissing in the fucking Friday.
What about society? Do you think punk rock changed society at all? In any way? In people?
Well,
Just,
the hippie movement was much stronger. After all these years, you got to admit that. Yeah? But punk rock was good for a lot of things. Yeah, in the music business, for the single market. If you remember the 70s, the singles seemed to die out. Yeah? Punk rock invented the singles, invented the independent labels, all that stuff. Punk rock was non-sexism for the first time in rock and roll. There's nothing about sexism and punk rock, you know. Female and male are equal. That was one of the best things. Low entrance money, and fucking don't behave like a pretentious pop star. You know, that's not what punk was about.
And everybody can do something, whether you're talented or not, it doesn't matter at all. Whether you can play guitar or not, you can form a band just if you like to do that. And there's still a lot of small labels around and fanzines, and it all started at that time.
right, so moving on to when the Pistols reformed there, did you react when you first heard about that?
I went to the gig. They were great. They had a good sound. That evening didn't change my life, but I've seen lots of bands which were worse who reunited, you know. So it was okay for me.
To see a gig by the Sex Pistols is certainly better to watch the like Oasis or something.
Definitely, you know. The Sex Pistols will be better than Oasis even in the age of 90, you know. Oasis is like constructed shit from this country. It's pollution. And the Sex Pistols are still alright. There's loads of good English bands. And you needn't listen to Oasis, if you ask me.
Such as? Which are
Well,
good
as I
English
said,
bands?
the Wild Hearts, Terrorvision,
Comparison.
Three Colours Red. It's my favourite band at the time. Three Colours Red from London. Here you go. Check them out.
Right, so you've mentioned some of the best things that came out of punk. What was the worst thing that came out of punk?
Loads of bad bands, you know. Being a punk band doesn't mean you're good or you're or bad. It doesn't actually say anything about the quality of what you're doing. So I guess there's been terrible bands about it. Remember Plastique Bertrand, Jet Boy, Jet Girl? That was really shit. And well, I guess all in all, punk rock was pretty okay with bad things, not too much.
So, do you think there's a future for punk now?
There's a future. There's a future for guitar, for rock and roll, and I think music is only dirty rock and roll or the kind of posing, clean stuff like Europe or Poison or whatever, Bon Jovi. I, for my case, hope we will survive on the dirty side, like Motorhead, AC/DC, Ramones. It's all the same, you know. It's just a question of a label. Whether you say punk rock to it or rock and roll or whatever, it doesn't matter.
There's certainly a future for it, in the sense of being a way of living. Like for you personally, certainly not. There's no future at all for punk rock as a movement or something.
One thing punks shouldn't do, yeah, they shouldn't start getting narrow-minded, yeah. Like, not anything which creates noise is great. It mustn't necessarily be a guitar, you know. There's some good techno stuff around, underground stuff, really hard, tough underground beats. And as long as punk rock keeps on taking those influences and using them for itself, no problem. There will always be good bands.
Anything else you'd like to mention?
No. It has been a pleasure to hang around here. There's loads of great bands, and if you weren't here, it's your own fault.